Hello, and welcome to the value of internships and other experiential learning. We're so glad you tuned in. Today, we aim to expand the way you think about college, taking you beyond lectures, textbooks, and exams to some of the most exciting and life-changing experiences you can have. My name is Marisa Marcy. I'm a regional admissions representative with Johnson & Wales University, and I'm delighted to be joined by my fellow panelists who will now introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Benjamin Nurin. I'm a senior admissions counselor with EMU, or Eastern Mennonite University.
Oh, Dave, I think you need to unmute.
Yep. Hi, it's David Adams. I am Assistant Director of Admissions for Widener University.
And our folks from St. Andrews?
Hello, my name is Shannon Valerie, and I'm one of the regional admissions counselors with St. Andrews University.
Hi, and I'm Catherine Evans, and I'm the Director of Career and Vocational Services at St. Andrews University as well.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amanda Gardner. I am the Assistant Director in our Career Center. My focus is internship programs. Once again, Emory and Henry College.
And my name is Tracy Harrison. I am the Associate Director of Admissions at Emory and Henry College.
Well, welcome again. And we wanted to give you a little bit more information again regarding the internship process, the internship, what is it about? Why would you need one? Why is it important? And how can this best help you figure out what you might like to do after you graduate? And so again, with the internship being a short-term work experience, an opportunity for you to work along someone in an industry or in a field of interest, you can gain a lot of information and develop various skills that will then assist you upon graduation when you launch your career. You know, we see some internships taking place during the semester or over the summer. Those could be 40-hour internships lasting 12 to 15 weeks. It's your chance again to work alongside a professional working on various projects or various entry-level things that they may have you do, seeing kind of what the experts do. It may also be a chance for you to figure out what you might not like to do in those specific fields. What we see from employers now is that they really expect to see or hope to see some type of relevant work experience on your resume, and that's a great pipeline for those employers to, again, hopefully hire you for an experience as an entry-level job once you graduate, or also they could definitely serve as a great reference in your next position. So an internship, again, is going to give you that kinesthetic experience, that experiential experience to get in, work on a project, do something, have an outcome, but also it gives you a chance to really enhance your career skills so that you can be more marketable and confident when you do start your job search.
So we're going to say the word internship a lot, but I like the term experiential learning. It's all about the experience. So it can definitely take the form of an internship, paid, unpaid, for credit, non for credit. But we have up here on the screen some other forms of experiential learning. Getting experience before you graduate. So you may hear the word co-op, clinical rotation, student teaching. You can see them here. Even study abroad, volunteer opportunities. You're using skills, you're building skills, you're navigating what interests you and how that plays into the world of work upon graduation. Also, student employment work study. I know a lot of us on our individual campuses, we utilize our student employees, and it is such a great way to get some experience, also test out a career field. So I'd just like you to know about the different forms that experiential learning can take.
So why are all these experiences so important? Well, you will get that hands-on experience, and we can't stress it enough. The number one thing that employers look for when they're hiring is experience. And so this is a way to get it while you're still in college. And It will also open up your networking opportunities. You've probably heard that saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. That is really true. You do have to know your stuff, but then you have to know the people who know you know your stuff. And that's what internships and these other experiences do. They get you out in the real world, meeting people, making those industry connections. You get to know them and they get to know you and see your capabilities and talents. And as Catherine mentioned, it's also a chance to see whether you really like a certain field. The beauty of it is, again, that you're still in college. You haven't committed to a job or a career at this point. You're still in the learning stage. So when you do these things, you really get to see, yes, is the major that I've chosen really what I'm passionate about? And if you find out that, oh, you know what, this isn't what I thought it was going to be, that's okay. You still have time to change your direction or maybe modify it a little bit. And again, you'll have advisors at your college that you'll speak to make those changes. But sometimes a lot of people do change their majors along the way. It's going to be developing your soft and your hard skills. Now, hard skills, those are the technical side of what you do, but the soft skills are equally important. They're how you interact with your colleagues, communication, empathy, problem solving, time management, all of those very, very important traits that are important to be successful in life. Of course, it's going to boost your resume to have that experience on there, and it's going to give you more confidence when you go in to do your job interviews. You're not just going to say, oh, I want to do this, or I hope to do that. You're going to be able to point to your experiences and say, I have done this, I accomplished that. And then ultimately, that's how the how and why of so many students getting their jobs based on their internship and other experiential learning experiences when they graduate. And ultimately, that's what it's all about.
How do you secure an internship? Well, there's multiple ways. One of the first steps is basically if you're still in school, you're going to go into your career service department so that you can actually reach out to the different companies, or maybe just look at the listing of different places that may be hiring for internships. You may want to talk to some of the faculty, some of your teachers, your instructors, to find out if they have resources or if they know someone who's looking for an internship. Look at relevant academic departments. Sometimes even if it's not in your field of study, still actually go out and seek and find out from other people or other departments or other staff if there's something in other areas that may not be in your major, but you're interested in actually doing an internship with. Alumni. They actually, most of the time, due to COVID, they may not be on campus as much, but then you may have alumni that may work at the university or college that you're at. Find out if they have companies or they're working for a company that's actually hiring for an internship. The best resource is also to do your research. Look on the internet. It's always things out there. And sometimes there's actually sites where they may say different internships, businesses and nonprofit organizations that's looking for someone to hire for internships. Request information for an interview. Like, be very specific of what you want to do or what department that you're interested in. So ask for an informational interview. Ask family and friends. One of the things I have to share, and we're always so serious, and I know you guys are like, oh, I've been on 1,000 of these. So let me share a fun fact with you. When I actually graduated or was about to graduate, I hadn't really thought about what area of communications that I wanted to go into. So I saw this huge hot dog pull up on campus, and it was the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. Well, I looked at the credentials and I looked at the qualifications, and out of over 1,000 something applicants, they were only selecting 10 people to internship for the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. And basically it's getting free publicity for the company without them having to pay for any advertisement. So I applied, and yeah, on my resume, so I had to think of something once I matured that my title couldn't be, but during the time that I worked, my title was, I was a hot dogger. Yeah, I was a hot dogger. So that was our title when we traveled around the country. And I didn't realize how I was going to become a celebrity during the time that I was doing my internship, but I literally had to fly that wing, big hot dog door up and look out to see if anybody was looking, because definitely, guess what they were going to ask me for? Hot dogs. But I didn't carry that, but I actually had the Wienermobile whistles, and this was actually one of the most exciting jobs and internships that I ever had. So with an additional information that you do your own research, because it may be a fun job where you can actually attend Super Bowls or meet people in the White House, or you can just do different things where it doesn't have to be specifically with a small company. You may want to think big. So think about that.
Shannon,
So,
oh, sorry. Sorry, David, I jumped right in front of you.
it's
Apologize.
all right. So when do you want to secure your internships? Well, basically, long story short, whenever you can is probably the best answer. But you have academic advisors, you have faculty members, you have folks on your various institutional campuses that their job is to help you kind of identify internships and when the best time to take advantage of those internships are. Obviously, summer breaks and long breaks like Christmas, the winter break are good times to do long-term internships. But other internships, and we talked about things other than internships. We talked about things like student teaching and clinical experiences and things like that. Many of those are built into your curriculum. So some of them will start as early as the end of your freshman year. So for example, I was an education major in college, and my first observation as a potential teacher was the second semester of my freshman year. So I spent 30 hours out in a classroom just observing teachers and how they manage their classroom and manage discipline in their classroom and those types of things. So, some of these experiences will be built into your major, and they will build upon each other over time. And you might have an experience every single semester that builds on the semester before that. Others will be things that you need to work with your advisors and other folks on campus to identify. But most internships and co-op experiences and things like that occur generally in either your junior or senior year of college. But you should take advantage of them as whenever you possibly can. And I think, as was said earlier, and many times it's not what you know, but who you know that's going to get your foot in the door. And so it's important to take advantage of your opportunities to get to know the people that are going to be doing the potential hiring at a later point in time. It's basically never too early to start, and you should definitely keep your eyes open and your ears open. That's probably my best advice.
I think it's my turn now. I am so sorry I jumped in front of you, David. But where should you do an internship? Shannon, I so appreciate you sharing that story. That it just makes me so happy. I literally want an internship with Oscar Mayer now. But it really drives the point home is where should you do an internship? You can do an internship anywhere. It could be for a large corporation like Oscar Mayer. It could be for the mom and pop family-owned business down the road. So when I meet with a student, I like to find out, you've been taking classes, you may or may not have chosen a major, but what's interesting to you? And that helps me to drive them either to a large or a nonprofit, a small family-owned. What's great about an internship is it really does open up your horizons. So you could do an internship near your school. You could do an internship. Let's say you go away to school, you go home, you could do one back home. But I also like students to think about the fact that internships could be in a large metropolitan area. It could be in a small location. You could go to DC, you could go nationally, you could go internationally. There are so many great opportunities. Large corporations tend to have internship programs, smaller businesses maybe not, but you can always knock on that door. And the career services faculty at your school that you choose are happy to help you knock on that door as well.
Finally, some internships may be paid while others are unpaid. A paid internship will offer monetary compensation for your work. For some organizations, this could mean a paycheck. For others, it may mean that they cover your living expenses for the duration of your internship. A paid internship allows you to put your focus on your internship without needing to balance a part-time job or to supplement any income. Not every organization, however, will be able to offer a paid internship. Some smaller companies may not have the funds to pay an intern, but can provide more one-on-one attention and more hands-on work experience for their interns. Expectations may also be looser for unpaid internships, so they can be a great way to get your experience without the stress of a paid position. You're still gaining skills and developing a network, and you're more likely to land a paid internship with an unpaid internship under your belt. And now we're going to discuss some of the internship and other experiential education opportunities at each of our schools.
Hey everyone, again, David Adams from Widener University. I think there's aren't there some additional slides? Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of give you just a little introduction to Widener. Widener is a small university of 3,300 students. We're located 14 miles south of the city of Philadelphia. We offer over 40 programs of study in these 5 undergraduate academic colleges. We also have our own graduate school of law. We have 2 law school campuses, one outside of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, one outside of Wilmington, Delaware. 100% of our students do participate in some sort of internship, co-op, study abroad, work experience, and about 70% in 2 or more, and probably about 50% in 3 or more experiences outside of our classrooms, learning about their jobs and their careers. You can pop on to the next slide. These are some of the companies and industry partners that we work with on a pretty regular basis. Obviously, all of these are really big names, and you recognize all of them. But we also work with hundreds and hundreds of other companies and organizations in the Philadelphia metro area that you've never heard of. These are also similarly some of the same companies that end up hiring Widener graduates after they graduate from school, simply because they already have experience with them as interns, as co-op students. So they feel comfortable in making that hiring decision because you already have that kind of work experience with them. Go to the next slide. In terms of outcomes, the 100% of our students who go through our 3-semester co-op experience do receive employment offers by graduation. 94% of our students are employed or in graduate school by the time within 6 months of graduation. They make salaries that are among the tops in the country. Our mid-year career salary survey showed that our students were in the top 18% nationwide in terms of salaries earned. You can go on to the next slide.
Hi, so this is Marisa from Johnson & Wales again. And Johnson & Wales is a private nonprofit university. We have 2 beautiful campuses. We were founded up in Providence, Rhode Island, which is known as College Town, USA. We started there back in 1914, so we have a long history, a long legacy. And we also have a campus in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is the 2nd largest financial district in the country. So it's a great place to be a college student with lots of opportunities. We have about 12,000 students all combined, and we have a beautiful diversity. They come from all 50 states and 78 foreign countries. So right off the bat, you learn so much from each other. You're going to see students of every size, shape, color, background. So that's really actually part of the learning too. Our campuses are very inclusive, very welcoming. The one thing that all of our students have in common, though, is that they really want to be successful. And so they come to Johnson & Wales because we're really known for our learning by doing. We're very hands-on. You're not just reading books, but you're actually doing real-world projects in your classes, and the class sizes are small. So you get a lot of one-on-one attention from your instructors, and our faculty are phenomenal. They all have a lot of significant industry experience, having done what they're teaching, and they're amazing teachers too. So right off the bat, they become your mentors and they help you start networking early on as well. The next slide will show you, we have about 50 different majors, again, all very hands-on, everything from business, culinary arts, hospitality, and in fact, our hospitality program is in the top 10 worldwide. We have engineering and technology, health and wellness, liberal studies, and so much more. With all of these fields, though, you are going to start taking classes in your major as a freshman, and that's very different. We want to make sure that our students get a great foundation right away, that they're engaged in what they want to do right off the bat. So instead of having your general education classes front-loaded your first 2 years, they're interwoven throughout. So you'll jump into your major, which is really cool. And then the next slide will show you how effective this is. Again, you're in learning labs, not lecture halls. Just going around here, this is just a small sample, but all of our majors have learning labs connected with them. You've got your finance lab up there with the real-time market ticker, our sports entertainment event management lab, our crime lab. Oh, it was so cool. I was sitting in there not too long ago, and I felt like I was on the set of CSI. It's so real worldish. And then our food innovation and design lab. And again, you'll be doing these real world projects. Now, the next slide will show you at Johnson & Wales, we're really proud that we have a 97.7% career outcomes rate. And that's because of our internships, which, as you can see, we have them all over the USA and across the world. Because you start taking classes in your major as a freshman, you can do an internship as early as your sophomore year. And a lot of our students will do 2 internships. More than half of them pay, which of course is great. But as we mentioned, even if they don't pay, you're getting college credit, you're getting that experience. But what's really significant too, 71% of our students receive a job offer after doing a paid internship. So they really are effective. But even as a freshman, you're going to start learning how to network. As you can see, we had over 1,500 on-campus employer visits last year. So you're going to be going to these career conferences as a freshman, meeting the movers and the shakers of the field you want to go into someday. And the next slide will show you how we have just a small sample of where our students are doing their internships. In fact, Marriott, they hire more Johnson & Wales grads than any other university in the country. But again, it's as David said too, some of them are worldwide recognizable names. Some of them might be smaller, but all of them can lead to really great opportunities. And on the next slide, you'll see some of our international experiences. All of our majors have study abroad programs associated with them. We have students going clockwise around there. From the top left, you'll see students in Spain, they're in Madrid, Paris, Costa Rica, Venice. We have Switzerland, Greece, and so many more. In fact, we have study abroad and internship on every continent except Antarctica. And then in addition to these programs expanding your horizons, we have athletics, where NCAA in Providence, USCA in Charlotte, and things like sports will teach you teamwork, leadership skills. We have fraternities and sororities. You can get involved with great community service projects with them, and so many more clubs and activities. But there's always something going on that will teach you. So go Wildcats.
Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Ben Duran, and I'm an EMU admissions counselor. And EMU is a liberal arts university located in the college town of Harrisonburg, Virginia, in the beautiful Shenandoah Valley. And on the next slide, I'll get into some of our basic campus info. We are a smaller university with around 1,000 undergraduate students and around 1,600 students, including our grad programs. In the upper left corner of the screen, you can see some of our averages for test scores and GPA. And just one note, we are test score optional this year. And on the next slide, you will see a comprehensive list of our major offerings along with our career concentrations and graduate programs. We are going to move on, but feel free to reference this list at emu.edu. Now, EMU is known for our unique experiential learning program known as cross-cultural. Cross-cultural is a component of the core curriculum at EMU, and students may choose between several opportunities: a semester abroad, a summer trip, or a session in Washington, D.C. Cross-cultural is similar to other study abroad programs, with the main difference being you are not staying at an international university for a semester. You are living with host families, going sightseeing, visiting museums, hiking volcanoes. You are living in these countries and expanding your worldview in a completely new way. As cross-cultural is a graduation requirement for EMU, each student is guaranteed a trip abroad should they choose, and you are earning up to 15 credits towards graduation through the program. And in the next slide, I'll talk about the Washington Community Scholar Center. This program not only satisfies the cross-cultural requirement I referenced on the previous slide, but also gives each student who participants a valuable internship in Washington, D.C. The WCSC program will assist you in setting up an internship related to your major and interests. Students have completed both paid and unpaid internships, and a few notable placements include NASA, the NOAA, Boys and Girls Club, USA, Smithsonian, Capitol Hill, and the Washington Nationals, and many other public and private organizations and businesses. Students who do the program their senior year often receive job offers from their internship and after their completion of the program. And then finally, we do have other internship opportunities for students coming up on the next slide. There are also other options while you're a student at EMU for internships and other experiential learning. All majors have internship opportunities for students, and some majors like business, engineering, and political science even require them. EMU knows how valuable internships are in this day and age, whether students want to bolster applications to grad school or just want extra experience before going straight into the job field. EMU strives to make sure that they have as many options as possible for their students as they go throughout the 4 years of college.
Sorry, guys, I couldn't find my unmute button there for a moment. Amanda Gardner, Assistant Director of the Career Center at Emory and Henry College. I'd like to tell you guys a little bit more about our Career Center. So next slide, please. We at Emory and Henry have a dedicated career center called the Van Vlissingen Center for Career and Professional Development. Actually, this is the view from the front of our building out here, this beautiful duck pond. But I want to draw your attention to the graphic at the left there. Coming to college is really this opportunity to kind of find your direction. You have chosen a college or a university. We hope you choose Emory and Henry, but wherever you choose, we want to help get you directed. So whether that's choosing a major, finding experiences, whether it's internships or on-campus work study, and to landing that first job or graduate school, we want to be there to help you find that direction. We've got our website listed below as well, but it's off of ehc.edu. Next slide, please. So the Career Center, we are focused on 4 keys to career success, and you can see those here: learn, work, lead, and serve. So we want our students to be prepared to come and be active learners, to be engaged in the academic classroom. But we also want students to feel like they're supported in their work adventure, whether they are able to work on campus or they need to work off campus. We want you to get work experience, because employers, as one of my other colleagues said here, employers are looking for work experience, and being able to translate that work experience into your first job or graduate school. We are also very vested at Emory and Henry and the Career Center in assisting our students in becoming servant leaders in the community. So we work with volunteer opportunities in many of our classes, many of our organizations, and all of us in the Career Center consider our jobs to be of service to our students. So we are dedicated to that and learning how to be leaders, whether that's leaders in the classroom, leaders in your community, or just professional leaders in your work, your business. Next slide, please. So we too have compiled a list of some of the places our students have completed internships or full-time job opportunities. It's endless. Regardless of where you choose, we will help you find those opportunities. And I will tell you that we have such a great connection of alumni. I think there's a slide later about that. But tonight on our campus, a virtual event, we are connecting 15 of our alumni with students. They're going to network, they're going to talk, and we have alumni at so many great companies and organizations, and they're ready to share their opportunities with students. Next slide, please. A lot of our students also choose to go directly into graduate school. About 40% of our students do choose that route. We are here to prepare our students for that, whether it's a research opportunity or taking a work experience and translating that into graduate school studies. So sky's the limit with that. Next slide, please. Once again, that alumni career connections, we currently have over 5,000 alumni on LinkedIn, and I use this service every single day to connect our students to alumni for career networking, also internships and full-time job opportunities. Take a look at Emory and Henry, ehc.edu. Thank you so much.
Hello there. Once again, it's Shannon Valerie, one of the regional admissions counselors, and I'm going to actually let Catherine Evans start off, and then I'll come in at the end and just kind of give you a couple quick notes to just kind of jot down about St. Andrews.
Perfect. Thank you for the welcome again. If you wouldn't mind going to the next slide. So at St. Andrews, we are located in the Sand Hills of North Carolina, and we feel and enjoy our location here in the state, close to the beach, but also close to the Charlotte area and the Raleigh area. But again, like many others, again, the internship is so important that we want to ensure that every student has some type of experience before they graduate, so they really understand their career industry, their field, what they'd like to do, so they can, again, continue that passion and that calling once they graduate. So from our office, or from my office, I guess, the Career and Vocational Services, we want to focus on who the student is meant to be, what are they called to be, what does that look like after they graduate. And so this is, again, a couple of just a quick photos of some of our students doing their internships this summer. We have internships that range from the equine studies industry to the pre-vet to sports management, sports performance, health and fitness, to the business, the accounting, so education. And then again, our nursing students will be doing the clinicals, as well as our teacher ed doing the student teaching. So again, getting out in the field and learning about those career industries. We partner very closely with our faculty because we know a lot of them have had that prior industry experience before coming to St. Andrews. And so partnering with them to encourage their students to do an internship before they graduate along the way, again, helps the Career Center, but also it helps the student kind of fit in what they're doing. I was just recently watching a couple of our interns that intern over the summer, and one was in Houston with a soccer team, and he talked a lot about in his presentation about from his sports economics class, his sports finance class, and law and marketing, how he saw all of those different things play out in his sales and ticketing role over the summer. And again, dealing with COVID and how they worked on group sales and marketing, he said he definitely saw some of those experiences come to life. So we definitely made sure that information was passed on to the faculty members so they know what the students, again, are learning outside the classroom in their internships and how much that is relevant to their work experience. We also do partner with our alumni database. We connect students from the get-go to just explore those industries, explore those careers, get some information. We also have alumni that volunteer in various facets of their career. So one of the classes I teach is a transitions from college to career, mock interviews. And so it's so nice that we can connect now with Zoom and some of these other platforms where we can take or find alumni across the country and help them network and mock interview with our students so that they can find those opportunities. So we are part of a career consortium and of small private schools in North Carolina. And so we do take them typically to Johnson & Wales campus for our job fair. However, this year, and with all the things that are going on, we did that virtually. And so our students got to plug into a wonderful amount of employers that way. And then again, we have alumni that speak to classes, connect, come back on campus. We try to partner again with our alumni board to, again, give insight, give career industry information, and then again, LinkedIn and some of those other professional databases where we know our alumni are staying. The other one thing I wanted to mention too was just from the internship experience and getting that relevant experience, we're seeing the students again go on to those full-time jobs with those companies, or again, they may transition to a different city in a different area. But again, using that network, using those connections is definitely important from the faculty side and from the employer side for a job, or if they're looking to go to graduate school. So again, the purpose of all many things we're here in the career space is just to, again, help to plant those seeds so we know students aren't waiting till their senior year to figure out what they want to do. We want to start those conversations the minute they get on campus, those first year, second years, to make sure they can create that action plan to be most successful by the time they graduate. I'll turn it back to you, Shannon.
All these mute buttons and all these things to make sure that we don't hear extra sounds. But again, back to me, Shannon Valerie. Let me just tell you a little bit of information about St. Andrews. And basically, I think everybody can read on here. So I think you would rather probably just answer those questions. Maybe I can answer a few questions at the end. But I just want to tell you that we're a little under 1,000 students here at St. Andrews. We have 22 academic majors and 22 minors. The one thing that I think our students enjoy, the flexibility and the support to tailor to fit whatever they're interested in, and they don't have to just focus on one major. We actually have what's called an interdisciplinary degree, where you can mix a couple things together, and that's something that our students actually enjoy. Instead of having a major and a minor, they can actually combine both of the things together. The most popular areas of study for us are our business and our education, and even life sciences, which are supported by our liberal arts core. We've recently added a couple of new additions, which our students are extremely, and I think the community is excited about, is our Bachelor of Science in Nursing with us. And we also have a specialization in criminal justice management through our business administration office. We actually also added secondary education degree for 9 through 12 grades. So our students who are interested in the education can now focus on high school if they wanted to. We actually have 14-to-1 student faculty ratio. We have students that represent from over 35 different states and over 26 different countries. One of our other strong areas is for our equestrian athletes who are interested in maybe going to a smaller campus, is that we actually have over 50 years of championship equine tradition with the intercollegiate from our Western dressage and our IS, and we're also part of the IHSA and the IDA. We also have hunter seat as well. One of the things that I would highly suggest, we actually are open, but due to COVID, we ask that you actually register for a visit before you actually come in. And if you're not able to visit in person, we definitely would love for you to go on our website to actually do one of our virtual open houses. As you can see, we have a couple things where you can actually scan, and we'll give you this information later on if you want to contact Catherine or myself. You can set up for a visit. You can actually also reach out and find out about our scholarships, which is also listed on our page. And we actually have a free application policy. That's right, we're open enrollment, so basically you can apply for free. If you actually have any questions, once again, St. Andrews would love for you to be a Knight. Thank you so much for being a part of our internship informational session. We were so excited to be able to share this information with you. Again, if you have your phone with you, you can actually, instead of trying to jot down all this information and try to write down our information, just take your phone and just take a quick picture of it. We would love for all of you guys to reach out to each and every one of us. And I would also recommend, don't have your mind set on just one school, even though you may have a dream school. Take a chance and try all of the schools that are listed here just to see what we offer, because you never know. You may find a new love and a new passion at one of our schools that we actually have listed here. We actually are going to give you an opportunity to ask questions, because we like questions. That's our job. And if you have the opportunity to take a visit, if any of the campuses are open, please feel free to reach out to each individual on here so that you can actually set up a virtual or even an in-person visit for one of the schools. Thank you again for enjoying our virtual tour, and we hope to get the chance to meet some of you guys in the future. Tracy, I think we can go to our, we have the next slide, but we can definitely go to if maybe have any questions for any of the students who may have came into our chat.
I don't have any on the Q&A, so I think we are good.
In fact, well, I'm going to ask our Catherine and Amanda, since you both lead your internship programs on your campuses, do you find, are there some commonly asked questions that you often hear from students?
Catherine, you want to go first?
Sure. I get asked a lot of the times, when should I do the internship? Will it fit in with my schedule? They want to know about the payment or if it's paid or unpaid. They are curious to know what employers they think I should connect them with. And so a lot of it, I think, is kind of like a career exploration coaching appointment. It's making sure, finding out what their interests are, what they're interested in, how is this going to look or benefit them in the future. I tend to kind of give them the example. I worked with a student one time that her first job out of college was at the Wheel of Fortune. And so that is something that she gets asked in every interview about her experience interviewing candidates for the Wheel of Fortune, because it's interesting. It's something different. And so not that every student has to go work for Wheel of Fortune as an intern, but thinking about what is something that would be maybe something that would catch an employer's attention, or maybe something that they're interested in, that they see value in, that they'd like to explore more. And so a lot of those questions I try to kind of bounce back to them. But again, they really want to know when they should do it, really what's the value, because a lot of times if it's I have to do it, we want to try to get the buy-in, that how beneficial it can be. And so they've either been directed to my office because a faculty member has sent them, or a parent has suggested that they come. And so once we can sit down and have a conversation, I think they realize the importance of why an internship can help separate them from other candidates, that helps them be more competitive. And it shows they've actually done some work experience and learned some great skills from our career competencies. They understand leadership and teamwork and communication and intercultural fluency and technology adaptability. They know they've kind of used some of those examples. So then when they go to interview for a job, they can relate back to some of those really great experiences. And maybe, again, it could come from their classwork, but I kind of mentioned to them, how cool would it be if you could talk about what you did in a job or in an internship that showed you gained this skill, and how much that can help you be separated as a potential candidate. So that's a couple of things that come to mind very quickly.
You know, as you were saying that, it dawned on me too. Doing internships shows you how many phenomenal careers out there that you might have never heard of before, whether it's Wheel of Fortune, the Wienermobile, and so many more. We all tend to know things that maybe our parents do, or our family members do, but there are so many careers out there. It dawned on me, one of our grads is the head taste tester at Ben & Jerry's ice cream. And again, he interned with them, and then that led to a full-time position. But the careers out there you might have never even heard of. And until you start going to college, doing internships, that's going to expand your horizons so much.
Amanda, I was going to ask you a question. One of the key things especially for our students that are in school right now, their social skills aren't the best sometimes, because they're used to texting or not even sending emails. What are some recommendations for students who are looking for internships and they're not used to talking? How can you guys help them to prepare for that?
That's a great question. I appreciate you asking it. I think that's what's so great about a career center, is we're kind of like a one-stop shop. So, you know, even if a student wants to come in and do a practice interview or a practice Zoom interview, I've been doing a lot of those, just learning kind of the art of communication, just those soft skills. I've invited all the students that I'm working with to come to our event tonight, where they're going to interact with these great alumni, and they don't have to be the ones out front talking. I think just being a part of this kind of opportunity, seeing how alumni present themselves, I think is a good practice. You know, I tell my students all the time, I did not wake up like I am. Like, I was young once. I wasn't sure of myself and things. I said, you got to practice, you got to test it out. Shannon, I did not work for Oscar Mayer, but I worked for an amusement park one summer. That was kind of like my summer internship. And Catherine, I put that on my resume for a long time and I got a lot of questions. I worked for Dollywood, and you know what the first question is, did you get to meet her? And yes, I did. So you just never know. And you really, I tell you, I learned from that experience things that I use today so many years later.
Thank you so much, panelists. That was awesome.
Thank you.
I am going to share our thank you slide. So for all of those that have joined us, thank you so much. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, this was just one of many sessions being hosted. So be sure to sign up for additional sessions at strivescan.com/Virginia. In about a week, you'll be able to find the sessions recording as well as other sessions recorded at strivescan.com/Virginia. And again, thank you panelists so much. That was really good. And I hope you all have a great day. Thank you. Bye.